all happy. We're all ready for this pick and ban phase. And I think Origen looked really good with the Shen pick. And I think it forced H2k to play passive in the mid game. So I want to see the Shen either being picked by H2k or at least banned away then. Because I actually think Origen really showed how to play with the Shen without doing anything. Just the pressure.
Just by having the Shen, that's all you need. Automatically create a presence on the map, and H2k just did not want to get into a fight against them. But there you go, Caitlyn and Rise banned away, and along with the Vladimir as well. He has not been seeing a single game or a single game where he can be picked. And Bard banned against Hybrid.
He deserves to be perm-banned.
He does.
He's been a naughty boy, and therefore we do not want to see the Vladimir anymore.
No, we do not. Will we see a Braum ban against Hybrid in the next one from H2k? Possibly. They banned it in the first game.
They did ban it, but I feel like with them banning Bard here, I don't think you have to ban the Braum.
No.
As your last ban here, when you are H2k, already removed the Bard. Draven from OG, a bit of a leftover ban, honestly, versus Freeze. Unless they're planning on... Nah, because you don't early pick 80 carries for Pekka, really, so... It's not like... I feel like it's more like they target a comfort pick of like, oh, H2k backs is at the wall, you know, it can't go wrong. They do go for the Draven, but they do ban the Bard, the Braum one more time.
Got it. So H2k, there was nothing in that last game. They were just like, just want to play against that again. Despite the virus coming out this time, H2k can have the last pick on mid lane if they want it for Ryu, so absolutely fine. First pick of Karma, safe, fine.
Very safe.
Flex, mid lane, support,
Now, what do you want to see from H2k? Either they take away the Shen themselves, or they run more engage. Like, they could go Ashe, AD carry here. We know it's a stable for Pekka. It gives them more tools to start fights. If you run something like Shen and Ashe, like, that combination in itself is very, very good when it comes to setting up map pressure.
Yeah.
And it kind of forces you to play aggressive, even if you're normally a more passive team. I don't want to call H2k passive specifically, I just think they sometimes struggle to take chances in game where taking 50-50 plays are not always a bad thing. So I would like to see that maybe later on in the draft. I think Elise is still a very solid pickup here. I think give me someone like Ashe, give me Shen, give me some of these picks where you can be more active on the map. Yeah,
I mean, that's the problem, right? If you never go for a 50-50 play or a play that's not going to be 100% zero, then, I mean, the game stalls out, and that's exactly what we saw. Nami going to be picked up here with Elise out from Jankos. And it was Jankos who was pulling the trigger last game at the late game. It was like, you know what, lads? One's going to go in. Elise, Flash, Cocoon. Let's go. This is our engage now.
Jankos definitely didn't have enough impact in the early game, and that's been a problem for H2k in the past. When Jankos doesn't go off in the early game, they don't really gain any advantage. He's part of almost all the kills in the early stages of the game, which is natural enough as a jungler, but there tend to be more kills happening just in lanes as well. Jankos is part of everything when it comes to H2k's early game, so definitely looking to have a different early game. No surprise, really, I feel, with their Olaf. Can still be flexed, so can the Karma. We only know the AD carry lock in right now, and I think it's comfort more than anything for Pekka with his Lucian pick. And it makes sense. It fit the comp well when you look at how they want to play 1-3-1 last game. Or 1-1-3, sorry. I don't think it fit the comp when you look at the Varus pick and the Olaf. I think it could have been a Sivir or could have been like a Jhin instead. But in the end, because they have the Shen, it gives them some pressure. This is what I want to see. Thank you very much, H2k. Please lock that in. It's exactly the combination I want from them. You cannot play passive with this. You have global pressure, you have engage from your AD carry. Go time.
Ezreal pick up at the last minute. We were so happy.
It's because of the Olaf. They are afraid of the AD carry.
Run over by the Olaf train.
Can't blame them, but I like the Shen takeaway. I think that's really important because they struggled against the last game.
They did indeed. So take that one away. We'll go with the Ezreal this time around, like last game, instead of going for that Ashe for the engage. They still have one pick remaining, and it will go to Ryu. So harder for Power Ryu with the kind of pick, and by harder I mean impossible. And then the last two pickups from Origen, we are looking for a potential top laner. Olaf can of course flex, but Amazing had it last game as well. And that means we could see a carry top now.
I mean, whenever you have Shen, picks like Fiora and Jax become a possibility. I think that might take a little bit too long to start scaling into becoming relevant, and that's where Trundle or Gnar just have more impact early on in the game versus the Shen. Makes sense that Origen decides to swap away from the Jax Fiora type, who needs 2 items to really do anything. Overall, we are once again seeing a comp where Soaz can be a pain in the side lane. Power Vivo on a very safe pick in mid, can run teleport in this one.
Yep.
Thresh is always a weird support, because he's either really good or completely useless. Because he's kind of the jack of all trades, he's the master of none. He's not great for engage, he's not like fantastic disengage either, like his lantern is great, but that's like very individual cases where you need it.
Yeah, he's not reliable engage, but he can make sick plays, landing the death sentence.
Are we back
Are we?
in a meta where these double global comps, where you have 4 globals basically on 2 champions each?
Maybe.
Well, you have 4 globals on 2 champions, but you have 4 globals in total. Seems like we're gonna play it safe.
Yeah, with Karma going mid lane, it's going to be the Victor lock-in. I mean, what do we expect from H2k? If Victor is available in this composition, let's just pick it. Don't need to go for anything else here. Could have gone Ashe. Well, I'm going to go Ezreal.
I mean, Azir was open too, but again, when it comes to playing against Olaf, Azir is not that great. I think Victor is better because he can zone the team behind the Olaf. Much, much easier with his little zone coming down, the stun coming down. And then also just the upfront burst that Victor does offer. Like, Olaf might run at you, but if someone tries to follow, you can burst them down. Origen is running this comp where it's a lot about Power Vivo speeding up Amazing and Soaz to have impact in the fights here. They want to reach that backline, so in the end, it was actually a good thing H2k swapped away from the Ashe, because it would have been Trundle and Olaf with the speed up of a Karma. Pretty dead 80 carry every time. Now there is more mobility for Freeze, but it's a 1-1-3 comp again. The comp that H2k struggled to play in the last game.
Indeed. This time they have that Shen here.
Yes.
So that is a big difference and will change the dynamic of this game. But yeah, do not have the hard engage from the ADC in this one. So we'll see how this works out as we take a look at these compositions.
I mean, it's just a solid combo wall.
Yeah.
Not really anything to hate about it.
No, I mean, there typically is not. But I mean, we can hate the fact that like H2k, you could have gone for something else, more risky, take those chances, but instead make the reactive plays. And do you think we'll see a very similar composition to last time around, a very similar game rather in terms of pacing and how all played out Deficio as we head into game 2?
I think we'll see H2k be more active on playing the side lane with Freeze, because they have the Shen backup this time around. Origen is obviously running with double TP, but yeah, you move Karma to the side lane. I mean, have her push out a lane, but she's not a split pusher. Most of the time, you might even just keep her mid and put the Lucian with the Thresh to the side lane. It's a very strong 2v2 you have then. So
very strong fan support for OG.
Yeah, really. I like the reaction with the TP from Origen against Shen, because you're like, yeah, Source might join on the first one where Shen goes down, and then normally the second one, Shen has the advantage. Well, then Power Vivo can join. And you can actually stop H2k from playing aggressive in the side lane because Ryu can't follow.
Yep. All right, we have the lanes opening up. Last time we had standard lanes, and I think this time we are as well. 1 minute in, and we've only got River Ward, so actually going to see the 2v2 once again. But with Ezreal, of course, he's going to be sitting back like we saw in the last game. Keystones, anything interesting? No. Everyone going for pretty standard Keystones. Hybrid actually going for Thunderlords. More of that early game, mid game. Of course, you don't build extra AD and AP, so you're not hitting harder later, but it's surprising damage in the early game, at least in laning phase.
I mean, you have a super strong 2v2 lane of your Origen, Thresh, Lucian, together with Thunderlords and offensive Summoner. So H2k might struggle in this 1v1 or 2v2. Remember last game? They actually got the push very early from H2k because they forced Origen to take like the route around this little mountain here, a little hill, a wall, whatever it is on the map. Some of them have weird sizes.
Very fast. It was like mountain, hill, wall.
It's just a wall now.
Yeah,
it's not really a mountain.
Got chipped down.
It's a big rock.
It's a big rock, but he had to go around it. Is the point we're making. And this time Origen again going to be pushed away as Freeze will get there in time, and Hybrid will put a bit of damage down to Vander. Went for that Flay first.
But it's the same situation again, where Origen don't get to push level 1 because they are roaming up the river, and H2k is waiting to say, you know what, we have Ezreal, he's level 1, is fantastic, just start pushing. And then you get early level 2 on H2k, and you avoid that really tricky spot where a Lucian Thresh lane gets a level 2 before you and can just all in you, and like you're zoned for an entire wave. So it's good again from H2k. You see their early level 2, and then Origen have to wait for the wave. But this top lane is interesting.
Yeah.
Because Trundle is normally the tank killer. Does really well into melee matchups, like Shen, like Nautilus, like Maokai, these picks where he steals away the stats, but he needs the level 6. And he also really wants to get a Tiamat before he gets massive impact in the lane. Level 6 is the main one. Shen does fine up until that point.
Oh, Jankos in the mid lane. He flashed preemptively, waiting for Flash to come out from Power of Evil and follow with the Cocoon, but he was out of range for the Cocoon.
Let's remember Power of Evil does not run Cleanse against Elise and Shen. That can be very, very important later on in the game. Jankos can trade flashes, because if he ganks this mid lane again, and because there's no Cleanse, Power of Evil will die if he gets CC'd. So this gives over a lot of control to Ryu in here. And when you play Elise, you want early game impact. Olaf, he's the guy who wants to farm up, wants to get Cinderhawk completed. Elise wants to be active early on. So I actually don't dislike that play from Jankos. Trading your flash for the mid laner, I think, is fine. If you can then gank him again.
Yeah, if you can capitalize on it later, right, within those 5 minutes. So we'll see if he comes in for a repeat gank. Top lane is actually something we were talking about pre-cast, was like, want to see more Trundle Shen, see how that lane actually goes. Because Shen typically does well into melee matchups, but so does Trundle.
Yeah, again, it's about getting level 6 for Trundle.
Yeah.
There is then a decision to be made. Do you want to go Ravenous Hydra? Or do you actually just want to go Tiamat and full tank? Tiamat full tank is the safer option, where going straight for Ravenous Hydra is fairly risky. You all in a lot for lane. And this is the game where H2k is running a team fighting comp, so Origen will struggle to win the game just by split pushing only. And that's where Source needs to make a decision. I think going Tiamat first is the easy one.
Yeah.
And then if you get an early kill, you can go Ravenous or Titanic. Otherwise, you just keep it at Tiamat and go tank.
Either is fine. Ooh, hook onto Vander right through the minions. Freeze will try to follow up, but with the Ignite coming down, it might be enough damage. Hybrid's going to get Peke in range. Vander will flash away, try and cut the vision, but double ward goes down and Vander's not going anywhere. First blood to ex-Peke. Great setup from Hybrid.
Yeah, really well played here. Hybrid managed to sneak that hook just next to the cannon minion, and then he flashes the bubble, puts the lantern down and tells Peke, just click, mate. This guy's never going to escape. Going to escape. He won't escape.
Let him down.
And Peke picks up the first blood. It is not often we see this Origen bot lane win 2v2. Big mistake from Vander.
Yeah, it is.
Another
hook onto Freeze. There's the Flay. There's the Thunderlord proc. Next Peke didn't quite get the follow-up he wanted. He's low on mana as well. He'll clear out this last minion before taking the Dark Passage back home. But still, ex-Peke Hybrid defeating Vander Freeze 2v2.
Yeah, he's just actually fishing here, and then he gets the Nami, funny enough. And then look at this. Flash forward, give the lantern to Peke, and now Vander can't flash away. Here's the gank mid, though.
It was amazing, but he goes right into the ground. He gets blown up from Jankos. Ryu will flash away if he got out of the stun, which he did not. A kill over to H2k.
Oh, that was such a risky gank. When you had no flash on Power of Evil as well, he couldn't really overcommit.
Yeah.
And then Jankos just waiting around the corner. Remember, Olaf is not very tanky in the early game. Sidestone first item, one Cinderhawk before he really starts becoming a tank. Great response from H2k. Put that kill in the bot lane. Huge for Origen. Honestly, something we never really accept. Dying 2v2, especially in these lanes. We have a champion like Nami, who's such a strong laner, just getting caught out.
Yeah, we did say that, I mean, Thresh Lucian is a pretty strong 2v2, but...
And Thunderlords and offensive summoner, right? I mean, obviously they were setting up for it, but still, it doesn't happen often.
Still progression from Peke for sure. Freeze knew all along. Should have won Vander.
That was on Hybrid, though. That's where the support gets the credit. He set that up.
Yeah, that's
100%.
I just want to use the storyline. Come on, man. But yeah, you're completely right. It's just like in solo queue when you just like land that perfect hook and you keep the ADC alive like 5 times in the finals. Ah, good job, Lucian. Well played.
Yeah, well played, Lucian. Nice kill. Nice kill. You got to carry.
Perfect positioning. Amazing. He's setting up a gank in the top lane. This is 2 versus 1 against Shen, and Shen can survive for a long time under tower. 2 shots onto Soaz. There's the taunt onto Amazing. He's dropping low as well. He's gonna die. Oda the 1v3 outplay. Power of Evil taking 2 shots from the tower.
really aggressive play from Origen against the Shen who's level 7.
This happened last game in the same scenario, but they had 4 people, and Soaz almost killed someone. So they were like, wow, we can do it with 3.
Also because it's pre-level 6 Olaf, so there's no way out once Amazing starts tanking.
Yeah, and he didn't run Flash as well. He's running Ghost, which wasn't even up, so...
I mean, technically you get 2 assists if you're Origen, so you actually get more gold from this. And also you deny a few CS from Odoamne. But Soaz tanks first, can't really stay alive, and then pre-level 6 Olaf, easy kill for Odoamne, goes down. Meanwhile, Power Weaver's not getting any farm on the map right at that very moment, so you have 61 CS to 43 in the mid lane. Odoamne lost a little bit, had to use Flash. Oh, Hybrid is getting close.
He is.
Almost
another hug.
2 for 3 whenever we've been looking.
Yeah, whenever we've been looking, yeah.
Oh, that's
Just
a
tell the
ghosting
observers
Olaf.
only to look when he hits the hooks. Here comes Amazing onto Vander. Vander, he doesn't have Flash, and there's the pillar, there's the slow, there's the kill to Amazing. Great setup from OG.
Classic setup here where the enemy top laner uses his teleport back to lane. What do? You just set up a TB play bot lane. Shen could technically have ulted down, but when it's an army, she dies so quickly. Probably would have bursted right through the shield. Good setup from Origen. Like the action here, both teams more active on the map. Mountain Drake, that's your reward here. You invested everything bot lane. Top tower is taking some damage, and again, keep in mind, whenever Origen are setting up these plays, they are always losing farm on at least one of the carries. And H2k might try and stop this one.
Not quite. Jankos is coming in here, see if he can pick up a kill onto
Shen
Amazing. He's dropping low, he's inside the box. Shen ultimate comes in, Peke also bites the dust. Rhea looking to back up. 3 kills over to H2k, now chasing down Soaz and Power of Evil. Soaz walking right into the line of sight of Vander. He'll also be falling for sure. So as Odoamne gets in range, Shadow Dash will be coming up any second now. And it's just a matter of time before he goes down.
Give it to Rio.
4-0 to H2k. And the Dragon, that was disastrous from Origen.
Origen thought they could just 2-man the Drake while Odoamne was busy taking top tower and didn't have to invest any other members to take down Dragon. And HK realized, oh, they're really low. The Amazing is out of mana, he's super low in this Olaf. They just run in, Shen TP as well. And huge play from H2k. That's normally where you just say, okay, game over. Like, you just lost 4 players. Great start from Jankos, then Shen ulti onto him. And again, keep in mind that Origen have already been losing a bit of farm here. While they were setting up that Dragon, while they were then diving Odoamne before, this really sets them far behind, not only in gold, but also experience. Soaz is a level down right now against Odoamne. Power Evil is 10 CS down in the mid lane. And Amazing is 2 levels behind Jankos. Jankos has been getting everything. He's 3 kills, 2 assists, power farming as well. Amazing is so far behind on this Olaf in terms of experience. Makes it very difficult for him to have an impact now. Also, when you go Sidestone first item, you're even weaker.
Yeah. And it was such good positioning as well. As soon as Odoamne came in, 3 people were literally in a line in front of him. It was like, well, this is the easiest Shadow Dash ever in the history of League of Legends. Easy 3-man taunt, easy fight. And H2k with the big advantage now in the early game. 11 minutes in, and they have such a strong advantage. See if they can capitalize on this one.
Even got the first Dragon, so again, big change. Once again, it's H2k with great scaling, mid lane 80 carry. This time around, they're getting early Drakes, early kills. And you see some of the trading here.
Yeah, but welcome to Shen when he gets a couple early kills and he gets over you. Yeah, I mean, it can go either way. Like, the carry gets fed and kills Shen, or Shen just becomes this unkillable brick where you just don't do damage to him. And Twilight Assault is enough damage to beat out the opposing laner.
Soaz needs Amazing to come gank one more time, and Amazing is on the top side of the map. If Odoamne keeps extending here for the next wave, Amazing can move in behind him with red buff, and that should be a kill.
Yeah, we'll subjugate for sure.
But now HK should know that, okay, Odoamne is the target. They gotta be able to do something else on the map.
He's already used the Shadow Dash. He's gonna have to flash away. Who does he have in terms of support? Well, he doesn't need it. He actually just walked away, so he's good to go. Had to burn the flash, though.
Perfect pathing here from Odoamne. Step down the river because you are controlling mid lane with your jungler. So H2k have suddenly a way out. Odoamne had a way out where Origen couldn't chase. Really smart from him. He could have just started running back towards his tower, but then Amazing would have been able to gank him.
Yep.
Really, really smart play from H2k. Get a mid tower for it as well, because
Oh my
He was alone.
god.
Well, Hybrid landed the hook.
He
but
did. There was no Becky there, unfortunately, and with Ryu and Jankos also there, didn't really want to pull the trigger on Death Leap, so yeah, I think I'll just go back to tower, thank you very much. And Ryu will have to take the long walk of shame back to mid lane. And Freeze will carry on hitting the tower. So, slight advances here, just while H2k have the presence of multiple members being around that area and a lack of vision as Jankos is in the dark. But
and this game here, Pulse, H2k have been able to punish Origen every time. It was Origen who set up the tower dive top 1-for-1. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Not game changing at all. Pekka and the rest of Origen make the play bottom lane and then try and both push in bot lane and take the dragon at the same time. And that's where H2k react. Instantly get a kill. Get 2, get 3, get 4, and the dragon. So now they're suddenly in full control. Mid tower has gone down. They're scaling up nicely. Shen is not in any sort of trouble. We talked about the trundle builds. If you don't get ahead, just going Tiamat into tank is safer. And that's what Source is doing.
Nice to see. H2k, this is what we expected to see from them in game one. It's a composition that is very H2k. Longer range ADC, the Shen being able to just make the reactive plays, make calculated plays and make them work. Be able to punish your opponents for making risky decisions. And you don't have to make the 50-50 plays. You can make the reactive plays that are 100% going to work out in your favor, which is what we wanted to see. So it is also reliant on OG making those mistakes or opening up the possibility for H2k to make a play. Odoamne is chasing after Soaz. Also has pressure from mid lane and jungle, so he's able to do that. But in this one-on-one, there's not a lot that Soaz can do right now until he starts itemizing. He will continue to be pushed out by Shen.
Jankos is here, same level as Soaz.
Chase after him. Soaz instantly with the subjugate is going to give him a little bit of health. Has to flash though. Jankos is still following after. Volatile spiraling, but the cocoon goes wide, so Soaz will back away. But it does open up top tower to be hammered away from by Odoamne.
And because they have a Shen, while Origen normally would then try and create a play on the bottom side with their jungler, they can't really do it. And Power Vivo has to flash away, so that's 2 flashes now. Jankos just forced away from Origen. And again, you would say normally pressure bot lane here, set up a play. We have to keep in mind Odoamne can't TP down.
And he's full health, so.
Origen would have to commit every single player to the bottom lane, double TP down, plus amazing if they wanted to make a play. Nice hook again from Hybrid.
And there's the Death Leap. Ultimate box comes down, Vanda with the return, but this is the problem. Shen is on the map. Vanda going deep, trying to set up this TP, but it's not going to complete. And with Peke coming in here, they're going to try and pick up the kill into Vanda. Power of Evil. Soulflare will take out Nami. In the top lane, Soaz committed deep to get that interrupt down onto Odoamne, and Jankos will punish him. They take out the tower, they take out Soaz eventually. There we go. Neurotoxin will take him out.
Vanda definitely did not expect the interrupt on Odoamne. Soaz had to sacrifice himself. Trade towers. Origen will have control on bottom side. Can start a Mountain Drake. This time, no one is here to contest. But that's still a big wave lost for Source on top side with him going down. And a trade. Tower for tower, kill for kill. Just even out the dragons. Freeze.
Shot in the dark.
He's helping.
Yeah, he's helping. Why not? On the off chance you happen to steal it, it's worth the ultimate. But yeah, it was maybe worth Soaz's life. Oh yeah, actually this is going to go to Odoamne, completely not only swinging a matchup but solidifying it for Shen.
Yeah, this is actually a win for H2k. Trading Mountain Drake for Rift Herald in this case against double TP.
Yeah.
Shen will be such an annoying split pusher.
Pretty decent timing on it as well, 60 minutes in.
I think Source might have to just commit to like Ravenous Hydra now if he wants any chance of winning that lane. Just try and out-sustain the Shen. He does have the long sword forward. Can still be Titanic technically.
He's so far behind in terms of gold though, and
he is,
like the arms race. And
he's
Odoamne,
in such a bad spot.
Like look at Odoamne as well. Like he doesn't have to itemize magic just right now because in the mid game, Power Reveal's not got 100-0 him, and he's the only real big AP threat. So it's just like, well, I'm gonna go full armor, and he's also going for the supporty build as well. So it's not like he's just going raw AP. So everyone's like, well, I'm literally just gonna stack armor, and so as have fun with that.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the games where you normally would see Karma just commit to the full AP build you just talked about, because you need the damage. Like you have a bit of true damage and then physical damage on Amazing, then you have just physical against, obviously, and Elise is going to build a bit tanky later on. You have the Shin who's going to go full tank. It can be very difficult to take down these armor stacking targets. Power will still have decent damage. Has very high base damage on the Karma. Amazing, taking a lot of damage.
Wow, Ryu hurts. Yeah, amazing. Wants to get out of here real fast, and we'll have to pop the ghost. Just skedaddle.
Sucks a bit for H2k. They're like, yeah, let's set up for the perfect dragon. We got the deep vision. We pushing out the 2 lanes around it, and dragon is already gone.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like 4 minutes before Infernal Drake spawns. So for now, they can only play around the tier 1 towers. But the fact that Soul still have TP makes it a bit difficult for H2k. Because as long as the junglers track each other, both top laners will join at the same time.
However,
everyone is on bot side.
Is easier for Odawan to capitalize. Power of Evil will sidestep the Cocoon, but it's giving a lot of time for Jankos just to wail away at him. Ryu comes in, and the full combo ultimate will take him out. And the Storm will finish off Power of Evil. Just a nice pick from H2k.
Jankos with the Cocoon there, completely missing against a no-flash mid laner. It doesn't matter because H2k got the kill, and they just have full control of the map.
Yeah.
Not sure why Power Viewer was trying to walk down through the jungle. We just talked about how there were so many pink walls being set up by H2k and full control on the bottom side, and you can't walk in there. You have to take the long route, follow your towers all the way down through your own base. That's the only way you can kind of move around. Power Viewer getting caught out results in 1 tower dying, and then all of Origen have to go back and defend, which means another tower dies. Suddenly, everything just collapses. And that's 2 more towers for H2k. 6,000 gold lead.
19 minutes. Here's the top lane trade as well. Not really a trade, more Shen just completely bodying Trundle. He's so strong. All right, let's take a look. I mean, in this situation, like Jankos is like, well, I have Cocoon. And it means you have to go side to side, and it gives me enough time to put damage onto you.
And obviously, Power Viewer weren't even that overextended, but you always have to ask yourself, like, what's the best that can happen when you try and make this play? He steps down, he spots Jankos, tries to poke him a little bit, and he's like, all right, I gotta run instantly. So the best that could ever happen, honestly, for Origen was that they landed some clear poke on Jankos and tried to force H2k out of the jungle and kind of reset the map. But a Athene's mid laner won't have the damage to really put down that pressure too much, and also he had no flash. So just a very, very risky play, and he got punished for it. That's 2 towers gone, and that's how suddenly the game snowballed out of control.
Yeah, H2k, big advantage in this game, but closing in onto Jankos, repel onto Soaz, see if he can make his way out because Shen is there. Flash, Hook, Hybrid making the play, keeping OG in this game, getting another kill. But Soaz has to finish off there.
Oh, Ryu too.
Oh, another kill. Very nice. OG making these roaming plays, and now chasing after to Vanda. Paraviva's going to commit the flash, another Soul Flare, and the combo from Vanda to try and keep himself alive, but the culling will call out Vanda.
Okay.
3 kills. All right, OG, I see you.
And Baron is alive. It's going to be a risky one because Oda is still full HP and Freeze is coming, but it's 5v2, and H2k just lost randomly.
What is going
members.
on? Oda, he could jump in here. He's very tanky.
I mean, he has to almost if he wants to try and stop this one.
Yeah, OG are fairly low, and all going to the back of the pit. Oda with the E onto 2 players.
What
He's not going to get the steal. And Oda, maybe they can pick up a kill here. Yes, they get 1. Freeze comes into the fight. Hybrid's trying to zone him away, but Freeze is quickly getting annihilated by Peke. Now Oda, yes, he's going ham. Hook doesn't quite land, and Oda, we're going to let him live for now. You can see how damn tanky he is. But that was 4 kills and a Baron to OG, all off those picks.
Yeah, another great hook from Hybrid, by the way, saving the entire situation in the end onto Freeze. So they clearly surprised H2k on top side with the support roaming. And Ryu tried to path all the way from mid up there. They just didn't expect 5 Origen members to be on top side. Yeah. Look at Freeze, he's down bottom lane.
He's farming.
Just farming because no one expected a 5-man roam from Origen. So H2k gets caught out, end up dying. Baron gets started, even though we're only 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
They have the Olaf, they have to turn to tank, and then wait for Freeze to arrive. When it actually looks pretty tricky still for Origen because Odamne is very strong. Freeze gets hooked by Hybrid. Wait for Taunt to run out. Freeze enters the fight. And there we go. Hybrid saves the entire situation. Freeze no longer able to deal proper damage. Goes down.
I mean, Oda is still scary. He killed 2 people by himself.
Yeah, added an 80 carry, right? That would have been pretty scary, but what a turnaround.
What's going on? Jankos coming in here, invade from H2k, but Baron up from OG so early into this game. All off that 1 punish. Origen have honestly been impressing me in this series. They have not been making as many of the mistakes that we've been seeing as we made the transition for Peke into ADC, and honestly, from the start of the season, they've just been pretty impressive in their plays and executing fairly well on them, even though they had a lot of issues in the laning phase and some issues last game closing out, but it's getting better for sure.
Yeah, I think they made some good like mid-game calls in both the games. This one to get back in the game, and the other one just honestly saying we need to just control River every single time. Don't allow H2k to ever properly fight us. So they've had some really good decision-making in the mid-game. Power Vivo gets the Lantern.
Yeah, Tidal Wave takes a while to travel down mid lane. Oh, amazing. He's just going in for the engage. Fana gets ripped apart. Freeze's going to have to jump away. Odoame uses all of them to keep him alive. They will manage to take down Amazing eventually as 5 members dogpiled on him. Ryu's going to be backing away. He's low himself. Power of Evil. There was a minion in the way, unfortunately, for the Soul Flare. But still, a 1-for-1 trade, and OG are just all over H2k right now.
Soaz again interrupted the Shen ulti. 3 members pushing in mid, with obviously Amazing being dead, but it's only Jankos and Freeze, and now TP from Odoamne.
Looking for this flank. Odoamne coming in from behind, splitting up OG. They'll have to go 2 different directions. Odoamne, can he get in range? Peke is going to create some distance with his E, but I'm not even sure if Odoamne can get in range. Peke, enhanced recall, boys. See ya.
Not the TP play Odoamne had imagined before. He saw himself as a big hero, TPing in.
Come in, 5-man taunt,
turn
the game around.
On the tower.
Nope.
And everyone just runs away from him. Poor guy. H2k is still in the lead, but it's much closer now. Strong mid-game from Origen. We know that comp is very good in the mid-game. So it's a flash forward from Jankos, get dodged, and then just lands on out. So very, very greedy engage from H2k at first. And that's for Origen to see, like, all right, we just committed everything. Amazing gets a good flank. In the end, only trade 1-for-1. But because Peke gets some extra damage here on Ryu, force him back to base, and then suddenly mid tower is open. Didn't manage to take it down, but got quite some damage on it.
And here comes the top tower, also going to get taken out by OG. I mean, Odoamne can't really do anything here. Yes, he's got 2 members. Chadash doesn't land. Peke, cheeky shot on the tower before taking the Lantern out, and he's good to go. OG are rapidly closing this gold gap. Baron has worn off, yes, but H2k are not in the same dominant position they were, say, 5-10 minutes ago.
They were 7,000 gold ahead.
Massive advantage. It was just like, man, H2k is going to close out this game perfectly in classic H2k fashion. No, not at all.
They got so surprised about the 5-man invader roam from Origen on top side. Ryu also dying there. Still, small advantage for H2k. TP is ready for Power Vivo. He can get some damage on this mid tower again. But H2k now committing as 5.
Yeah, they'll take this tower. Nice rotation. And so as without his TP and Power Vivo being in the mid lane, we'll be able to contest that. But we'll take a tower in the mid lane, so not the worst, obviously, in an inner tower for an outer. Not the greatest of trades for OG, but still, this game has equalized quite a lot.
H2k now. Next dragon is so important for them. It's been double Inferno, double Mountain in this game. And then once you secure that, then Baron obviously is your focus. Seeing as Baron starts first, that's going to be the next objective to aim for, depending on actually when this dragon spawn. Could be like a minute extra from now, so like 2 or 3 minutes time. But we're suddenly at the point where Origen are able to take an even fight. They have a comp that's good in the mid game with the Lucian. We talked about it. We have the Karma, obviously. Because Power Vivo has gone for the utility build into now, no, I need damage. So he goes Luden's Echo, which normally is a snowball item, because it's an item that always delays some of your core items later. Like if you look at main items for AP champions, it's often like Deathcap, Void Staff, and Hourglass. Like those 3 you see in so many games.
That's a core.
But you will always delay at least one of them when you go Luden's Echo. But Luden's Echo give you a lot of punch just when you buy it. Great for poke as well. And it's been one of the reasons Origen surprised H2k and got back into the game. Not the Luden's Echo specifically, but the fact they actually...
Just the Luden's Echo pick up H2k. No idea that was coming.
They built some items that gave them a lot of punch in the mid game.
Yeah.
We obviously know the Black Cleaver on Lucian. Fantastic for him. Will be slightly weaker in the late game, but great now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the pure crit build sometimes we see from Lucian, but either way, I mean, if they've got the power now and they can utilize it, then Origen are in a pretty happy place. Odoamne takes away the red buff. Actually very nice for him in the 1v1, really, up against Soaz once again, just suppressing that Trundle. A lot easier for Odawame to interrupt a TP since he has pressure in that lane.
Oh, they got spotted by the ward behind.
Yeah.
Origen know where they are, but H2k, they really want to secure this Infernal Drake. Do not want to trade it for Baron, though. They do have enough time to stop Origen from rushing a Baron. But now it's all about mid lane control. When you want to contest 2 objectives, 1 on each side, whoever controls mid lane gets the easy access into the river.
Yep.
And you'd never want to just let the other team run past you there. Another hook from Hybrid. He's been on fire.
He really has. Jankos flash engage onto Hybrid, though. I can do that too. Here comes the Tidal Wave. Ryu chasing after. Pops the ultimate. Odawame's coming in here looking for the kill onto Hybrid. They finally find it with Jankos. And so has just joined the fight, but now OG are in full retreat. Amazing defensive Ragnarok. And they have to run back onto their side of the map. Ryu looking to chase after Peke. Doesn't quite have the combo here. Odawame still keeping up the chase.
One of the things I really like about Jankos is even when he fails a few flash cocoons, he keeps trying, man. He never stops. He always wants to look for that engage, and he realizes this come from H2k. Well, he's the guy who kind of has to start it to get over ulti from Nami. That's about it, you know, and then you Shen TP in after. Baron is being started. It's only Hybrid dead. It's only the support gone.
Ryu sitting in the sidelines, but he's taking all the damage from Power Reveal. It just feels like last game with the Varus and Azir. H2k now turning on to Origen. Flash dash on to Amazing. We'll take him out. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Will be caught off in the sidelines. Ryu taken out by Power of Evil. H2k now in retreat. Took a beating from Baron. Going to return the damage onto Soaz. Amazing. Doesn't land the Shadow Dash. He's been snared up and he is locked in place. He is not going anywhere. He will stay alive for a couple more seconds before being shut down by X-Peke.
Power of Evil won that fight for Origen with him sniping Ryu. Multiple times he hit him, and then the last big one took down Ryu, and that suddenly means H2k didn't actually win the fight. They just went even at first and then ended up losing after Odamne going down. Big play from Power of Evil again, and Ryu has not been looking great today. Power of Evil has actually been the better mid laner.
For sure. Now on the mid being pushed in, the tower's gone. Freeze can't defend that. He will take the minions as the smallest of consolation prizes. Infernal Dragon's life, so is Baron. It's all about the control over the mid, and currently, Origen have it.
Wait, apparently, because I didn't actually get to see how Ryu died, but Baron was activated. Let's see what happens if the Baron actually is the one shooting over the wall and killing Ryu, or if it is Power Ryu. So Power Ryu landing all the poke, that's great.
That's 2 in a row.
Everything is awesome here. And then Ryu takes another poke, so it is Power of Evil, and then Baron actually probably turns around.
No, the spikes.
I'm going to give it the Power of Evil. He set it up.
Yeah.
He was the man landing all the poke, so I stand by my statement. But Baron really hated Ryu there.
Yeah, and because everyone stepped out of the Baron pit, he didn't have vision of that. So just spikes over the wall, taking out Ryu. Didn't expect it.
Interesting position in the first place, though, from Ryu.
Yeah.
He actually had time to run all the way around the Baron and have joined his team, but he stayed there, maybe waiting for OG to commit in towards the Baron pit, and then he closed around.
But he knew it was warded because it got hit twice already by Power of Evil. Wasn't just like
so much damage.
You wouldn't expect me to stay in this bush.
He's once again behind the Baron. He's not afraid.
Yeah.
I've never seen that, by the way, that long spike.
I haven't either, yeah.
Jeremy, I didn't even know the Baron could do that.
No. He's evolved. Oh, 1v1 trade in the mid lane. Freeze, you know he's a mid laner. He knows how to go for the 1-on-1 trade, especially with Lucian, giving us more of a comfort pick in this game. 4-1-4, Peke is having a pretty decent game. Haven't really seen Peke getting caught out as much as previous games as he's been adapting to that role. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hasn't died solo, basically.
Also, yeah, also props to the team though. Hybrid has been setting him up this game for sure. But we have this Baron dance again. H2k, they did manage to take away the Infernal Dragon, so you can see double Infernal plus the Mountain Dragon. So H2k at least have that going for them, which is nice.
Which is very nice. Ryu is currently on 445 AP without a death cap, so that is pretty huge for him and the rest of H2k. They have full control still because of these dragons and the fact their composition with the Israel and Victor is very strong at this point. We've hit the late game now. It's very hard for Origen to force a fight again. It's kind of amazing running in with Ghost. That's your way of starting the fights. And it's just so difficult against these champions like Victor and Israel. It's what we talked about all the way back in Champ Select of why H2k changed the AD carry. Yep. Said, you know what, guys, we need more protection. We need to avoid dying in the backline to an Olaf. And while, yes, H2k got caught out before and obviously lost a lot of kills, it has been pretty successful in this game from H2k. And now we're just kind of waiting for him to start that Baron and set it up properly. And then Origen will either step in for a fight or give it over free. I think Origen should step in and fight, and then we get a big team fight, Pulse.
Yes, we will. Here comes a TP coming out, trying to zone away Amazing using a tidal wave, but H2k have to commit to this fight now. Hybrid and Soaz both caught up in Odoamne. Shadow Dash. Amazing's coming into the backlines. Jankos will have to take a hasty retreat, but Odoamne is refusing to die. 4 people waiting on him. Meanwhile, Peke steps a little too far forward. Freeze trying to get in range, setting up Odoamne. Power of Evil is not in range for the Shadow Dash, but he will be hooked in there. The bubble coming in from Vanda. There's still not quite enough. The Lantern saves him. And after all of that Deficio, no one dies.
So close, man. Hybrid with the hook.
The hook over the wall, doesn't want to pull the trigger, but here comes Ryu looking for the big play. He goes real deep. And the ultimate, the True Shot Barrage, not quite enough to finish them off, but this is going to keep on going. The TP in from Power of Evil, he's back with full HP. H2k go back onto the Baron, and will be once again zoned away.
And no cooldowns. There's another one of these Baron spikes, by the way, coming all the way out the wall. But H2k technically win the fight, but they don't get any kills, so not able to take down the Baron, and we get a quick reset on the map, and then we gonna see them just return one more time and do exactly the same. But Origen is set up, you know, they have all the pink wards in their own jungle. They can see everything. They can move into that river every time. Such a close team fight, and all it took was 1 or 2 kills, and one team would have taken that Baron.
Yeah.
And suddenly, the game could have
swung
maybe not
one way or the
over,
other. Yeah,
but
it would have swung.
Close to, yeah. Like once you take that Baron fight, take the Baron, you get often like a tower and an inhib.
Sure.
And in games like these, it tends to be enough.
All right, Dragon is also spawning in 2 minutes. Will be the Elder Dragon, as we are will be past 35 minutes.
Yep.
And no one has TP currently. Odoamne will have it fairly shortly because of his ultimate, but no Summoner teleport spells. So a lot of people have to be cautious about where they are on the map, just in case the other team pulls the trigger.
And right now, backstage, Prolly is angry because he sees the Dorn's ring in Ryu's backpack here instead of a pink ward. When you're trying to set up this Baron. Unacceptable.
Yeah, that's in the notebook. Unfortunate. Ryu, has not really been performing like Ryu in this series. He's been taking every skill shot to the face from Power of Evil, and has had some questionable positioning, questionable decisions.
He's had some decent team fights on the Victor. I mean, he's able to
He's not
always...
playing awfully. That's,
no.
That's not what we're saying.
Definitely able to land a lot of damage, and he will be one of the big threats in the late game, obviously. Yeah. But Origen not really able to do anything on the map because they have no TP spot.
Oh, concept
freeze.
Another one. He has to use a quick silver slash and back away. Hybrid has done so well this game. Definitely my player of the game for sure, Deficio.
Spoiler.
If Origen win.
I mean,
yeah, spoiler, if they win.
Technically, he can still get it if they lose, if he's just a monster, right?
Yeah, but maybe someone on H2k will just go big. Odoamne does land that 5-man taunt.
Yeah, Odoamne and Jankos have been playing well, both of them.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good candidates. Oh, here comes Amazing, and there's the Olaf initiate. Just run at them real fast. Odoamne coming in here, doesn't land the taunt onto anyone, flashes away from OG. That'll be Soaz getting out of there. And once again, lots of resources burnt, but no kills.
No kills, once again, Pulse. Cooldowns used, let's see. Flash from Soaz, we got TP or ulti from Odoamne. Ryu as well, and Freeze. Like a lot of their H2k members need a good 20-30 seconds before they're ready to fight again, where everything is ready except for the very important ulti from Amazing. Not counting the Source one here because it's up in just a few seconds.
Yeah, ambitious Shadow Dash from Odoamne. It's like, I hope Peke walks into this.
Well, sometimes it's actually good to do that. Same on Gragas, where you body slam forward, because if you then use flash
if you are
right
in range,
after,
if they are in
if they're in range and you flash, you will actually catch them. So what some players will do, they will just flash away or dash away instantly, because they're like, oh, he could actually do it here. And then you might just get a free flash, you know, blown from an 80 carry.
Yeah. True.
So I like to see that, like body slam forward on Gragas, dash forward on Shen.
Especially when he's so tanky in this game. It's not like he's losing anything.
It's mind games.
Yeah. It's all mind games. They all add up.
All right. Both objectives alive. Again, mid lane control is everything. This time around, it was H2k pushing it out. Oh, Jankos. His entire team had already left him.
Yeah. Already gone back to base. So OG get a nice flash there just from positioning. Having this control here, trying to vie over this mid lane control. Just like chess. I want to control those mid 4 squares. Gives you a lot of control. And Peke clearing this one out. So a lot of tension building as both of these big objectives are live and both of them can swing the game in different ways. So it's just looking for a catalyst for this fight, a single spark which starts it all off.
Yeah, there's again no real guaranteed way to start a fight in this game for these teams. It's run at the other team.
Yeah.
Amazing
runs at them, or hybrid lands, a hook, maybe.
Which doesn't work anymore because Mikhails is here for Vander, QSS is here for Freeze.
Or Jankos lands a Flash Cocoon.
Like, yeah, that's what we've been seeing. Like, Jankos have tried multiple times to Flash Cocoon.
That's last game, the same story.
Because Shen isn't there normally, so you use him in the side lane, but Trundle will just clear out the wave against him. And then you have to, because you're proactive and you're pushing first, then you try and force a play, but your way of forcing the play was the Cocoon Flash, and Flash is on cooldown for Jankos right now. So this is the kind of engage you're looking at, which is why this game is so much about just having their river control and like who can set up a Baron first, who can start it and force the other team to run at you, so you can turn around and engage on them.
As we've got kind of a bit of a lull here, just as both teams keep posturing around. Got a question. Well, kind of angered the Baron there. Yeah, Sunfire Cape. But yeah, H2k are struggling against Origen, regardless of how this turns out. Still, it would be a 1-1. And out of the last 6 games, of course, last week they went 1-3. They would have lost 5 games out of their last 6 games, which is really on a big slump for H2k. Origen, however, yes, have been performing better, but they've played against lots of different teams, played against Unicorn and Splice.
I think the worst thing is the schedule, honestly, for H2k have been fairly easy.
Yeah.
Like Unicorns of Love.
These should be games they're picking up.
Origen has obviously been down on the bottom half, entire split long.
Yeah.
So we say easy, but in Europe a lot of teams are very even, so it's not really easy. Tidal Wave goes wide.
Oh, amazing. Taking a lot of damage. We'll have to use the Ragnarok. Didn't want the Guardian Angel being popped there, because that would have forced a fight for sure.
But they can stop Baron now, or at least walk towards the Baron, because Amazing won't be able to join the fight instantly, and if he joins, no ulti, no ghost, he's going to be very, very weak. This might be the opening for H2k. If they're able to force Origen into a fight here, it's almost a 4v5.
This is so tense. Soaz needs to step up. And H2k, they have started the Baron, but they're taking some heat in from Origen as well. Power V will be poking away on some Soul Flares. Odoame also taking a bit of damage from Baron. Hook lands onto Shen. Throws out Banana. Another Soul Flare. And H2k have to back away. They're taking a little too much pressure from Origen.
Yeah, but now mid lane is suddenly open. Origen is already moving. This is where H2k had to just pull the trigger. Like, use your Shen. When they move in towards you, taunt Flash.
That would be a Flash from Hybrid. He did not want to be caught out. Peke's pushing down the mid lane. He just needs to take down the tower. There you go. Peke, the man himself, turning up. Needs to take the long route back to his team, though. This is kind of what Freeze was saying, though. Like, Peke will do things that normal ADCs will not.
But, like, look at that last situation. There's no tenacity really on the side of Origen outside of just the Trundle. So when these guys, they step in towards the Baron pit, you have taunt Flash on the Shen. Ooh, go for it, like.
Man, Power People hitting like a truck now. Death Cap and the Luden's Echo really adding up onto those squishies. Culling, unfortunately, lost that 200 range, otherwise that would have hit Freeze. He was just out of range.
Alright, we're trying again, Paul. We're trying again. But now Amazing is ready as ulti.
So as it's here,
I need
got the TP.
Odo Amnet to show us a great Shadow Dash.
And the spike comes down, will be secured by Odoame. Amazing backs away. OG, do they really want this fight? Hook onto Odoame once again, body blocking that one. Here comes the Chaos Storm from Ryu, zoning away Origen. And H2k just want to get out. They're all grouping together as they make their way out of this situation. So Baron has been secured over to H2k.
So this time they managed to rush it down. Double Infernal, Mountain Drake. A lot of extra tools compared to normal. But, I mean, I feel like that kind of play just describes this series. You know, it's a lot of just always play for objectives, which is fine. And a lot of it's like whoever has the control around the river will at some point just keeps the hunting Baron over and over and over. And nobody really commits to the fight. No one wants to hard commit. There's no taunt flash from Odo Amnet. There's no instant rush in from Origen, also because their comp can't really do that much when it comes to engaging. It's really limited. It relied so much on Trundle winning that side lane, and he didn't due to the early game. That's an Elder Drake as well now. This is the same situation Origen was in last game, where it was just them sitting with the Baron buff, with the Elder Drake, with the gold lead.
What caused that swing, though? Because H2k, yes, they secured the Baron, but why couldn't OG just sit around the Dragon area? Why didn't they just use that time to set up wards around the area and wait for them to go? Well, they're going to go for a kind of engage, semi-engage, but Soaz is going to be caught out. Bubble comes down, Yanks is on top of him. H2k are just going to kill him. What's going on?
Well, Ramne found a target and just said, I'm going to taunt you. And then we're going to bubble you right after because we have enough time.
Yeah.
And that's an easy kill, but they're really far ahead now, Pause. Keep that in mind with all these buffs.
Baron, Elder Dragon, Triple Dragon. They're going to take the middle inhibitor tower and the inhib itself. See if they can look for more. Hook onto Yankos, not a squishy target. They are still pushing in.
Will they try and finish here or, again, force Origen into another fight?
Hook goes wide onto Freeze.
How much damage they got?
That's so much damage onto Nexus turret. First one dropped. Hybrid cord out. Amazing, looking to try and put some damage off to the side, but H2k are just too strong. Gonna jump on top with Power of Evil. That's another kill. Double kill in for Freeze, and he's just looking to clean up. Heku will go down for the triple. Chasing down Amazing. He's got the Guardian Angel. He'll be combo breaking that killing streak for now, but H2k are just going to close out the game. Second Nexus turret is out. Ryu wants a kill to pad his stats, and Odawame, they just want to rub it in. They just want to kill him.
Instead of finishing the game.
All right, there we go. Make sure we end with a decent scoreline. 18 and 11. H2k, you have this one in the bag. Soaz, oh, you're alive. We're going to take you as well. We really want this kill. They really want to assert their dominance over Origen. There we go. Nexus goes down. 1-1 on the day.
Yeah, our two teams will be very happy with one of the games each. H2k will have to go back and definitely rewatch that first game and figure out why couldn't we do anything on the map. This one here had a much better early game, which actually set up the entire thing. Because suddenly it was Origen pushed back on the map. And Origen's comp just fell apart. Like the only way for them to engage, as we talked about, was this like Olaf just running at the team, and not really anything H2k were too scared of, honestly.
All right, to Fishy, I'm a little bit confused because we had this long Baron dance, and then eventually H2k just rush it. All right, fair. Why don't Origen then go to the Dragon, stop them from taking the second objective, which is the final nail in the coffin, instead of going back to base and just resetting and having H2k just run it down and kill them?
Honestly, the thing at that point, so like both teams obviously instantly recall. Back to full HP. Yep. You have enhanced recall on the Baron team, which was H2k, so they get there faster. Okay. And once they've already set themselves just in front of the objective, I think at that time Origen will just not be in position to properly contest it, and it's almost safer to just give them the Elder Dragon trying to defend at base. But as soon as you lose the Baron, the game is almost over. We said that earlier in the game, H2k were like 7k gold up, and like this game is over. And then the 5-man roam on top side, and everyone dies, and there's a 20-minute Baron for Origen.
Just such a bizarre way for that game to end, considering the lead up to it. H2k with the lead, Origen with the punish, but just literally a couple seconds too slow. If only they had triple Cloud Dragon, and they would have got there just in time to maybe steal the Dragon away.
Yes, that would have been the change if that triple Cloud Dragon. I mean, it's interesting to see how both teams had each a game where they just had full map control. And we had like very slow games because it was like, all right, Origen can't really do much right now. That's like make the super risky play that then paid off and worked.
Sure.
But Origen was still behind after the Baron had ran out. Origen was still behind. H2k was still in full control, and it was just kind of like, all right, set up another Baron. And when they walk in to stop you, is this the time where you like taunt flash forward, take the fight, win it? They tried a few times. They always were like super close, but no one actually died. And then kind of reset the map, and we did the same again and again and again. So it was one of these games where it never really felt that close. Same for game one, where it's like, oh, Origen it feels like they're in full control. Even when there were some mistakes and they got punished, it still felt like after. No, the other team is still leading. They're still, you know, setting up for the objectives and should be winning the game.
I think this highlights other things, though, like outside of that game about the teams, because we were talking about H2k in game where they were legitimately struggling against OG in both games. Obviously, losing the first one, definitely struggling. So yeah, what does this really mean for H2k moving forwards? We're going to take a look at a highlight while we talk about it. Is the first Dragon, but yeah.
This was the big one where H2k gets such a massive advantage. It's a great punish. Have to remember the Mountain Drake is pretty difficult to take down, and the early game takes longer. And with Origen pushing out bot first and then coming in late, great call here from H2k to just engage in. There's some of the calls where Origen is really good at making when he's sitting on these split pushes, being like, go, 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 we can take this, I can TP in and everything. But what does it mean for H2k? What does it mean for Origen? Same week where I feel like it doesn't mean a whole lot. It's practice. It's everyone trying to get better, figuring out all the mistakes and like how do you fix them? How do you fix them for next week? And I feel like it's kind of the same. I think Origen can be happy getting a 1-1 with this, but also H2k with the way they played in the first game can also technically be happy getting a 1-1 because they could actually have lost this 2-0.
That's true.
If we look at the first game.
I don't think they'll be a little bit happy, but not
they
like
won't be
ecstatic.
happy. Obviously, they won't be happy. They'll be like, oh, we should have gotten more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we'll be finding out from the man himself. We're going to be interviewing Jankos over there with Sifa.
Thank you very much, guys. Of course, exciting set of games. I'm joined by none other than the jungler for H2k, Jankos. Now, we talked a little bit before this set. You said you were not really happy with how those games played out at all. I mean, what went wrong for H2k? You guys got the 1-1 in the end, but you said you weren't satisfied.
Well, I think this is very simple. The main thing is that we kind of didn't know when to go in and how to punish their mistakes and how to punish their composition in the first game mainly. So that's why we fell behind to the poke of Varus, and then he did like some crazy 50k damage in that game. But it was mainly because we had to punish the objectives, like Drake, for example, like turret, and then we, for some reason, gave up every objective, and then we couldn't really overchase into them because then, you know, they get free poke. We cannot face check them either, and we did that mistake one fight that costed us the second Drake, and they just snowballed really well.
And then coming into game two, it was a little bit rocky there. At one point, you got picked off, and OG was able to kind of contest that Baron. Rough life. I'm not trying to. You got this grin on your face.
Oh, well.
I mean, aside from you getting picked off there, once OG got that back a little bit, you guys were still able to close out. It looked. I mean, there were some mistakes. It was a little bit slow, but it looked pretty clean once you guys were able to secure that final Baron. What's going through your heads in that game? Were you at all worried about OG coming back?
I mean, I don't think so. We were talking about the fact that we have strong composition no matter what. So even when they were comebacking to the game a bit, they got the kill on me, they got the Nash because of it, they got the kill on Rio. We still knew that late game team fights are ours. So then we just stalled the game a bit, and then they didn't get much. We got to Inferno Drakes, and it was really hard for them to fight, even though the fights were actually really close. The thing I didn't like in this game is that I still felt like we didn't have like perfect way of communication on stage, and I feel like that costed us the 2 kills, and then they got Nashor. But it's simple to fix, and hopefully it won't happen again in the future.
So looking forward, you guys have kind of had some back and forth performances, some really great weeks, some really poor weeks. You said communication is something that's pretty easy to fix. Do you think that's the biggest issue currently, or what do you think is the biggest issue for H2k right now?
I mean, I think the biggest issue is that we have to know how to play our comp better. And I think we know a lot of the comps, but sometimes we still forget it in the LCS. And I think some people in our team sometimes should play more aggressive, but except for those 2 mistakes, then it will be harder for us to improve, because as for now, we need to improve this, and then we can move on to the next thing.
Absolutely. So looking ahead at your schedule in the coming weeks, is obviously today is the end of the first kind of round robin of best of 2s. Who are you most worried about matching up against in the next set? G2, Fnatic, someone else? Who do you think is your biggest opponent?
I mean, I always want to face G2 because I want to prove that Perix is bad. And then Fnatic, I think Fnatic is the best team in Europe right now. I'm not sure. I think they always played so good in scrims. I need to see them playing today versus G2. They, like, I would say 2 the best teams in Europe right now are facing each other, so I would like to watch that game. And yeah, it will be probably Fnatic or G2, and then the rest of the teams I would say are like mediocre along with us. So then I don't really care about who I play, especially like Rocket tomorrow. I don't mind playing them, you know. I think we can beat them easily, but at the same time we cannot like sleep our legs like we did today in the first game or yesterday against UL. But yes, I mean last week against UL, I feel like we had even more communication issues, so that's fixed. So cheer for us tomorrow.
Absolutely. Of course, we'll give you a chance to go over to watch G2 versus Fnatic in just a moment. We're going to actually head back over to the caster desk to figure out who was the player of game in that second bout between Origen and H2k.
See ya, bros.
Thank you very much, Sifa. See you later, bro.
And Jankos.
And Jankos. But we're not going to be leaving Jankos because he was the player of the game in that last game. And
Yay!
Hey!
Player of the game. He's waving at us.
Yeah, you can't
He's
see it.
happy.
Hey!
He's happy.
But no, it was good. It was a lot of those engages, a lot of those plays. You hit the nail on the head in
Oh,
the game,
early
really,
game.
the Fish show.
Yeah.
It was the early game. And also the fact that, like, if you missed a flash cocoon, you just go for another one. And then, like, a lot of them actually did work out and worked out for those team fights as, funny enough, like the primary source of engage in a lot of those fights. So
I really
yeah,
like
well
I like this interview a lot. I liked it a lot because he kind of admits to a lot of the problems, like communication on
What we were saying,
stage
yeah.
is not perfect. They need to be more aggressive. You know, individual members need to not be afraid. And obviously, some of these games, it can sound very negative when we're just standing there being like, oh, here you could engage, here you could have done it, here you could have done it, here you should have done this. You know, it can sound very, very negative. And that's where I really like when the players go in there like, yeah, you know
they can
what?
identify it.
Hey, we should have done this different. This should have been better. And that's the good thing about H2k. I've always felt like they understood what they did wrong, and then they tried to improve it. It's not always they can improve it fast enough. Like last split, they came out and said, we suck at team fighting.
Yeah.
And like, we really want to get better at team fighting. Again and again and again, they said it. It got slightly better, but not good enough towards the end anyway, and they managed to secure 4th place in playoffs, which was disappointing if you were H2k. They definitely aim for higher, and they should.
I think so too. I thought it was actually really cool because he also identified that, like, what the problems that they had, but like how they couldn't translate into game, right? It's just like, well, we knew that this composition was good at this, but then we forget it when we're in game.
Right, yeah.
And that's the thing. So it was actually really cool. Just to round this up, that was the 4th player of the game for Jankos, currently tied for 2nd, so actually been really well and high impact on H2k. So hopefully they will rise, but we are going to send it over to Stream 1 EU LCS 1, where G2 and Fnatic are still going head-to-head in the arena.